In this video, students, we are going to learn how we can create a servlet as well as how we can design a Java servlet pages. So let's go to NetBeans IDE to start our program. So at first, as all of us know, that from Windows menu we have to go to service. We have to check whether our server is running or not. It is in running mode now. Now we can go to project to create a new project. So choosing Java Web and Java Web Application, Java Web Application. Next, then we can specify here the server name, which is already selected. Next, then finish. So this is how simply a HTML file will get created with the project under Web Application 8, the default name it is taken. So now let's remove the comment section. So what I mean to do here, I want to specify some message to the server, and server will include some welcome message and will combine with our HTML message and will display on the browser. For example, on this HTML code, I will specify form, then action equal to, so which file it will open. We have to specify the JSP name here, the JSP file here. So form action, suppose I am giving, let's write suppose new JSP .jsp. It means if I click on any component of form, so it will respond to whom? It will go to new JSP.jsp file. It means it will open this particular file. Okay, so let's create now input. I'm creating a form, so I need a input text box. So input type text, as all of us knows from HTML. Then we have to specify the name. So we can specify here name equal to T1 I'm giving as. Fine. So here I can specify username. Suppose I'm giving username. This is username I'm providing. So username will be given in the text field usage. Then giving here break, giving another break. I'm specifying the password. You can say password. Fine. Username or user ID, let's write user ID and password. So password also text I made and I'm specifying here T2. Okay. Thereafter, let's use again BR to design nicely. Then we can use here input type button, and on this button when we click, then the new JSP.jsp file will get open. That is what our, so input type submit I took here, and the value I gave here, suppose say submit or login, anything login. I gave the word as login. So login will appear on button as a caption of the button. Okay, then this is the HTML file we have designed. So let's check this file. Shift F6 to compile, to interpret and to run. So now it is trying to run the HTML file on the web browser. So web browser is not selected. So let's select the IDE as default IDE here. As I told you before, Chrome I'm choosing. So then let's do Shift F6 or run the program. So it is opening the IDE and trying to open, see, window web application 8, as I told you the folder, it is opening the design. Now clicking on the login, it is trying to access whom? I'm specifying the username and password. Login, it is trying to access which file? If you notice here, new JSP.jsp file it is trying to access, but that file we don't have. We didn't create till yet. So now let's go back to IDE. Let's go back to IDE and to create that file first. Okay, so what we need to do, we can right click here. This is the folder or this is the place where our file is stored. So we can right click here to create a JSP file. So students, just notice here there will be a JSP option, so you need to choose that. So the default name is new JSP. That's why I have given your new JSP.jsp. You can change as well. So let it be like this. Then I'm choosing finish. Now here, this is the file where we need to specify the JSP code, Java server pages code or Java servlet code we need to specify. And the code we have to specify within this bracket. Within this bracket percent we have to specify the code, and these codes are not necessary, so I'm removing simply. So we have to specify the code here. So now in JSP file we have to write, suppose, the string type of variable as we are going to access username that is given in a text field, and the text field name is t1. So in JSP file we have to specify the string type of data type. Java supports string type of data type, and the variable name, the object name I took here id. Anything we can take. Thereafter request.get parameter t1. It means the data what you are feeding in the text field, first text field, will get stored in the variable ide. Okay, the next one we can write same way, string password. Suppose I'm giving the variable name as ps, then request dot get parameter, the object name is t2. It means whatever we have inputted in second text field, that will be accessed and that will be brought to ps variable, that is the password variable. Okay, now both the content we need to print, so we can write here out.print welcome t1. So why t1? Because t1 is the why id we have to write welcome id. Welcome id, why? Welcome the name of the person whom you are whom is logging in. Okay, so welcome id I'm giving, and as well as I can give here you have, I can give any message, you have successfully login. I gave a message here that you have successfully logged in. Okay, so now let's check, going to the HTML file. Now let's run the program using Shift F6, the shortcut key, or we can click here the arrow button, that is run project. Already the browser has been chosen, so clicking here, you check there are two files. So we are accessing which file? HTML file. So at first the HTML file will open. Previously, if you have noticed, clicking on login, there was no response, but in this case there is some response. So now going back, I can specify here the username and password. Here the password is visible. I will make it invisible later on. So now login, it is showing welcome Rashmi, you have successfully logged in. So this message, what it is showing from which file? If you notice here, new JSP.jsp file. So it means it is accessing that JSP file which is getting accessed from our HTML file. If you notice the previous content, this file is HTML file which we are running from the NetBeans, which we are running from here. So there are two files in our directory, that is web application 8. One is HTML and one is JSP. So at first we need to run the HTML file. Thereafter it will access the server, and through via which it will try to access the new JSP.jsp file. And under that JSP file, the program or the coding we have written, the process, whatever to be calculated or whatever to be done, that process is written, which is servlet program, you can say, which is written. Fine. So this will get access. It means the data is getting collected from the HTML file and it is getting transferred to the new JSP.jsp file. Thereafter it is processing as well as bringing the output to the browser. Now suppose I will test whether it is running without server or not. So simply go to the service option here, service tab here. See, the server is running. So let's switch off the server. Right click and I'm doing stop. Now the server is getting stopped. Let it get stopped. Yeah, it is stopped now. So now you go to your project and run the HTML file. Okay. Now see what is doing. Now see, because of the server is not on, it is because of the server is not on, previously we stopped, so it is first switching on the server here. It is helping you to switch on the server. Thereafter it is trying to open your program. And which program it is opening? We have two programs. We have two files, index.html and new jsp.jsp. So it will automatically open the HTML file. Then let's provide the data here, and pressing on login, if you watch, automatically from the HTML file it is opening the new jsp.jsp file. Okay, and if you go back to the NetBeans and check your service you have stopped before, now see it is running. Okay, now still if you wish to check whether without server it is running or not, so what you do, better you remove it. Right click and choose remove from here. It means the server is getting stopped as well as it get removed from the server, means from the services. It get removed from the services. Now there is no server attached to your NetBeans. Now NetBeans remove that Apache Tomcat server. Now you go back to your project and see the error you are getting already. Fine. So it means without having a server you cannot develop any JSP program. Still, if you wish to run this program, you just simply run the program to check whether it is running or not. Click on here. See, the target server has not been set or has been removed. So it means without having the server, as we are developing a server side programming, that is JSP. So without having a server you cannot write a program for JSP. So what you need to do again, let me show you. Go to service, which already I have shown you. Right click here, you have to add the server. Choose here Apache Tomcat, as physically we have installed this in our PC. So going to next, choosing here location, go to browse, then go to C drive where you have installed, where you have pasted previously. Choose here open option. Don't give any password. It will go with the default username and default password, that is root and root. Then finish. Now the server is getting on. Okay, now let's go back to the project and run the HTML file to check whether it is working or not. It is switching on, testing whether it is on or not. This you can switch off to enhance, to enlarge your window. Still it is compiling, it is interpreting. Now index.html file is open. We are providing the username as well as the password. Login, see the username as well as the password. Password we didn't specify, so welcome your name, you have successfully logged in. So this message is getting provided to the web browser. From where? We didn't specify in HTML file, we have specified in new jsp.jsp file. So it means through a HTML file we are simply accessing our JSP file. Hope all of you clear about the concept of a JSP program. So we did here a small program and I tried my best to explain you here. Now let's try a simple program which will provide some information, like two number it will provide from the index file, from the index.html file, and what the JSP file will do, will calculate simply those two number and will display the result. Okay, so for that we need here in HTML file, I need here to write first number and I need to write second number. Fine, second number. So there will be two text field, text1, t2, t1, that is perfect. Now in this case, in spite of submit, let it be submit, no problem. Here let's do suppose sum. Fine, sum. The bottom caption will be sum and the file name is new.jsp. Now go to new.jsp file and change. What you need to change now? As we are going to bring integer, so we have to write here int. Int, I am writing simple the variable as a, and as we know that t1 will provide us by default a text, so we have to write here parse int method. Before that also we have to write integer.parse int. As we are using JSP and Java code we need to specify, so we have to specify like this. Fine, there is no error. Now you simply still spelling is mistake, so just copy this for the second method. So for the second text field, So I specified here, suppose b integer dot int, then we can specify here what, t2. Fine. Then we can take one more variable, like suppose c equal to a plus b. So simply two variable, the value of two variable is getting collected from the text field 1 and from the text field 2 and getting stored in the variable a and b, and they are getting calculated and get stored in c. Now here I want to specify the message, suppose the result is, so I am specifying here c. Okay, so let's go to the HTML file and let's run the programs doing Shift F6. Now it is compiling, it is interpreting, and it is running the web browser. Okay, now we can specify here the first number as well as the second number. Clicking on the sum button, it is now running the JSP file, and in JSP file, however the code is written, it will calculate and it will show you the result. This is something like you are inputting, your roll number and clicking on the submit button, and it is trying to open the web server to show you your result. Something like that we have tried. Hope all of you understood the concept of HTML program, how it can be extracted the JSP program. As the name is written here, so form action. So action is the attribute for the form tag. After clicking on the submit button or the button, automatically it is accessing this file, and the coding whatever written here is getting executed. Not only it is getting executed, but also if it is required, it is taking some parameter from the HTML file itself, because HTML always will help you to provide the parameter. Like suppose you are checking your result. In that case, what will be the parameter? Your roll number, your registration number, your name. When we are logging in Facebook, we are providing user ID and password, email ID and password. So that is what it is going through the text box as well as the password box. Thereafter, the file whichever we have specified here will get access, and in that file whatever the coding is written will get executed thereafter. Hope you clear the concept of creation of JSP file.